Welcome to 10 Things We Hate, and we're following up the love video with 10 Things We Hate about Thomas Was Alone. Hopefully you know what we're talking about. Hopefully you clicked this video because you're like, I like that game. What on earth could these lunatics hate about it? Trust me, this is a struggle, and it's a real nitpicky one. Like, proper nitpicking. And contradicting myself and the love one as well, because that happens a lot. It's one of my all-time favourite games. Yeah.
Mine too.
Yeah, so we're going to go through it now, and I start off with the love one, you can start off with the hate one.
Sure. So, a lot of these are really, really nitpicky. But
yeah, that's the point.
My first one is the fact that I most of the time I finish the levels before the guy can finish narrating.
Oh, that's quite good. You stop and let the narration finish.
Yeah, you have to let it finish, don't you?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, after replaying it several times, I remember I was trying to get footage for it, and I was just flying through the first few levels. I was like, shit, I need to stop and wait for him to finish his narration. It's a good one. I like that. Alright, I hate it for making me give a shit about a bunch of shapes. I hate it for making me give a shit about a bunch of shapes. Why should I care about these stupid shapes?
Chris. Miss Thomas. Wow. Did not see that coming. He felt a little guilty too. Without his love for Laura and subsequent reunion with the guys, Thomas would probably still be with them.
That, you know, end up having more personality than any big budget game that you've seen out there. Yeah. Nitpicky, guys.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
So my second one is the narrator, Danny Wallace.
Yeah.
Also voiced a character in Assassin's Creed. And whenever he speaks, he reminds me of that character. You know the one I'm talking about. You know, he's like, he's in the present day.
Oh, God, it's Sean.
Him.
The present day. I forgot that's Danny Wallace. Yeah, it actually kind of looks like him.
Reminding me of him.
No, thank fuck I don't have that association.
Yeah, I played it a lot, so like...
Oh, I'm glad I don't have that association.
It's not great.
Right, the next one I hate. Making me kill Thomas and everybody. Making me do it. Not putting a cutscene or doing it off screen. You made me do it. You made me take the people that I followed along for 7 chapters, you know, learn to love and care about, watch them develop friendships and love for each other and so on, and then made me kill them all. Now, I know it's for the greater good. Didn't make it feel any better.
Fair enough, actually.
Yeah.
That's a fair point. My third one is there's not real challenge in most of the levels.
Yeah.
There's a couple that I mentioned this at another point. They kind of link together, but at the end they kind of get tedious.
Okay.
You have to keep going back and doing the same thing over and over again with different characters, and when you finally figure them out, it's quite satisfying.
Yeah, of course.
If you've done it before, it gets.
There's
tedious.
I'd say, yeah, that's what you're saying. There's not much replay value. If you play through the game once, there's not much drive. Oh, you've got that as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's not much replay value, and yeah, there is a modicum of tediousness to it as you go on. I agree with you in that one. I'll tie it into this one as well for mine then. Ultimately as well, it's quite short. Now, you said in the love video, while there's 10 levels of 10 chapters, so 100 levels, a lot of them can be flown through, and actually it's quite a short game. Now, personally, I don't actually think it should have been much longer. I think that it would even be more tedious, but it's still quite a short game. Yeah.
If it wasn't for the story, there'd be real no drive to carry on playing.
Oh God, no, yeah. And I'll tie into my next one then as well. And interesting about that as well, the later segments where Grey and the new AIs come into it, so I think it's the final 3 chapters, aren't quite as good as the first lot. This is after you've gone through the shock of like getting rid of Thomas and all that, and the new AI are born from that. And ultimately, this is probably where I reckon the tedium sets in the most, because you've suddenly got a new set of characters that is hard to care about in the same way. You've just done something pretty devastating.
There's the 5 ones, isn't there? They keep doing the same thing.
The jump team.
Each one. It's really annoying.
Yeah, it can be quite tedious in that sense. And I do think the later segments, those last couple of chapters, up to maybe the last couple of levels, where you kind of have to put a stop to Grey full stop, I don't think hold up as well, basically. Yeah. Go on then.
Right, so in this universe, water instantly kills you.
Okay.
Everyone must be pretty thirsty.
That is terrible. That is terrible.
I thought so.
Their shapes. I'm not even gonna talk about that one. I knew he said he was struggling, but that's a bad one.
That's really.
I've got a good one though. It has ruined Thomas is Alone, amongst a couple of other games. I bunch it together. Has kind of ruined mobile gaming for me. Now, I actually blame the market. I blame the market into the absolute horror show. I always use these terms: horror, terrifying, swampish shit. That is the mobile market. But that's how I feel. As a gamer, a person that like reviews for the site and stuff like that, it is an absolute abject nightmare to try and trawl through the App Store, which is what I use, Apple App Store, to find anything resembling a good game. A game that isn't free to play. A game that isn't stuffed within that purchase. A game that isn't asking $4.99 for absolutely nothing. It's an absolute disgrace. You would not find Thomas Was Alone unless you were searching for it, thanks to how rubbish the App Store is set up, and Google Play and stuff like that, because they're weighted towards new things and ones that run ads and shit like that. You know, you'd have to search for Thomas Was Alone, or narrow it down to the 20 different genres and go platform, and maybe you might fucking find it, you know? And playing the likes of Thomas Was Alone, amongst others like Little Inferno and stuff like that, I'm desperately trying to find games like that, and because they're 1 out of every 1,000, it feels like, not even 1 out of every 100, 1 out of every 10,000, it feels like you'll find a game like that. You know, it took me months to finally find a new one with To the Moon. You know, and that was just me trying and looking, and you can Google it, but ultimately you're only going to find what other people's opinions are. Trying to find something that you love and appreciate is really difficult, and you just got to wade through so much crap. And I blame Thomas Was Alone for that. Because ultimately that was the one that really got me started. You know, although I played it first on Xbox, then I found it on mobile and played it again through that. And for me, it was like, this cost, I think at the time it was $2.99, which was incredibly cheap by today's standards as well. And it's like, well, everything else is shit, you know? But yeah.
I've got 5 you can't hear anything from the cubes, but we know they do speak.
Of course,
everything's said through
narration.
The narration.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if I 100% like. It'd be interesting to at least have once heard one of them speak. Just once. It would have been kind of interesting. No?
No!
I thought it would be quite interesting.
Well, I mean, it's your opinion, but Jesus Christ, you're wrong on that one. I can't fault. There's no part of me that faults any part of the narration, the fact that we don't have to hear them. I don't want voices. Ooh, that's terrible. You know? No, that's terrible. That's a terrible one. You're never doing these videos again.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right, it's contradictory, but ultimately, as much as I praise the fact that we don't have a sequel or anything like that, I want a sequel, man. Give me something more, you know? I hate the fact that there's nothing else. That there's nothing else I can experience new about Thomas Was Alone.
Yeah.
In my core, in my heart, I don't want a sequel. I said that in the love video. I love the fact that it's just there and it's unblemished, untouched, and so on. But then there's always a part of me that goes, I want more. I want more, and I wonder if the creator could have a new idea and come up with this and come up with that. I'm sure he could, but I'm sure he himself knows like that. That's my work, and that's all it is. Yeah, you know. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go with another one while you're preparing. On mobile, the controls aren't great. It's a great adaptation and stuff like that. And there are 2 variations to controls, but they're not the best. This is a game I think if you really want to enjoy the best of it, play it on with an actual controller. I think you'll find it most smooth there because of the style of buttons on the screen. Sometimes your finger will slip and you'll miss a jump or you won't jump and things like that. It's a nitpicky thing. They're still good controls. They're just not great. Yeah.
So we've kind of already measured. But, okay. For whatever reason, you know, Sarah, the one who can double jump.
Yeah.
She sounds Scottish in my head.
Does she?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know why.
Why do you hate that?
I don't
You
know.
hate Scottish people?
No. No. I hate Scottish people. But it's just like one of those things where whenever I see her, I can't help but think, that's just a Scottish lady screaming.
Really?
Yeah, everything she says. Oh, I know her. You know the wrestler, the really weird one, the small little Scottish lady. Nikki Cross.
Nikki Cross.
That one.
She's one of Nikki Cross.
Yeah, that's it.
That's amazing.
I just figured it out.
That's amazing. I'd never put a correlation, but now I'm intrigued. I'm gonna have to think about that and see. Nikki Cross as Sarah. Okay, that's quite cool. All right, yeah. I admit, like, having Nikki Cross's voice, style of mad Scottish actions to that character would be quite horrible. Yeah, don't like that at all. Right, again, really nitpicking here, but some bits of music are marginally worse than others. This is the best I can do. I love the soundtrack, absolutely love it, but I think there are maybe 1 or 2 that maybe just aren't quite as great. That's all I've got on that. That's all I've got on it. Yeah.
Well, no, this is. No one's really heard of Thomas Was Alone.
True.
It's not popular, and when I go, hey dude, I played this really cool indie game with a bunch of cubes and portals, I sound mental, because then like they look up Thomas Was Alone, they see these screenshots of some cubes.
Yeah.
And a platform, and they're like, isn't that great?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's done well for itself, but it's still indie. And in popular culture and popular gaming, it's not one of those that people will be talking about. And it's one of those that you can't describe. You can just... People aren't willing... You can try and describe to them the emotional feelings and all that, but ultimately that's how you feel. No one's going to be able to relate to that until they play it themselves. And even then, they may not necessarily agree with you. But to try and encourage someone to play Thomas Was Alone is really difficult, just based off visuals. Really, really difficult, I think.
I've met one other person who's played it, and that I didn't tell them to play it.
Yeah.
No, okay, other than you.
All right. No, that's fair enough. Right. Nitpicky as well, but it ends. That's it. That it has to end. And it has to. We've kind of touched upon that in regards to replay value and stuff like that. But ultimately, it's still, I'm done. That's it. I've got nothing new to experience and Thomas Was Alone. Yeah.
really get any models from the game. As
Bri-
they're just
yeah.
cubes. They're just cubes.
You're right. This isn't. If you want to collect like figures and stuff like that, yeah, there isn't really anything like that, like out there for that. You could probably build your own one, but you'd know, like you get some Lego bits and stuff like that. But you'd know that isn't right.
I think there was an April Fool's thing where it was Thomas Was Alone model, but it was just a red cube.
But yeah, but like if they were all of them, imagine a platform. Like
Yeah.
the model is a platform
You could do that,
with
I
each of
suppose.
them standing on it, officially licensed. I'd buy that. I'd want that because I'd know. Sure, it's just a fucking cube, but I know that that's Thomas and the gang basically. You know, I would be up for that.
You know how they are. You've got like Sarah like there.
Yeah.
You've got like thing there, and then Chris is on top. Like she's like, no, I'm talking about Laura, the one that can make people bounce. Chris is bouncing on her.
Yeah.
You know, before they all go into the void.
Yeah.
Where they're all set up there, like something like that.
Yeah. I would absolutely buy the shit out of that. Right, my last one then, and to wrap this video up. Any publication out there, and I've seen some, I'm not going to name drop them, that scores this game less than 8 out of 10. Now, I personally think the flaws in it, the issues in it, I don't see how you can get less than 8 out of 10. We scored it way higher than that. On one we scored at 9 out of 10. I think the other we scored at 9.5. That's two different platforms, the Xbox One and the mobile review, two different reviews. And for me, I find it flabbergasting that you could score at any less than 8. There's not enough issues to me that you would be like, oh no, this isn't that good. I mean, of course, it's down to person. That's the thing about reviews, people. Is like it might go under the title of, like, let's say, it goes under the title of GBHBL, Brrraaains A Head-Banging Life, but ultimately it might be my review, my lone opinion, and that kind of thing. So I do get that side of things, but to me, it's like I hate the fact that if you Google Thomas Was Alone, you can find some big publications out there giving it a 7 and a 7.5, and it's like, you know, and that's what people are looking at.
I made a mistake, but I started reading through Steam reviews for it, and the first one I saw was like, good platformer, kind of boring. And you could just tell they did not play it the entire way through.
Yeah, they gave up after a certain bit, yeah.
Yeah. And it was like, you need to finish the game to know how good it is.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well, I mean,
it was those last 3 chapters that soured it for them.
I doubt it. I find it hard to believe. I think if you made it that far, you're all in because of what's
true,
happened up to that
true.
point. I think you're likely to give up within the first few chapters more than anything else. But then I am a strong believer in you can't really review a game. Not saying you need to get to the end of the game. Depends what the game is. You know, like you can play Assassin's Creed, but if you're going to be talking about the story, you need to be able to see how that story plays out. But if you're playing a game that's like Doom, say for example, you can get the gist of that plus the multiplayer and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, see, it's a real tough one because it's such a small game as well to find 10 things we hate about Thomas Was Alone. But I really wanted to do it. It's one of my favourite games. I'm glad we did. Make sure you check out the rest of the hate videos for all the other content and the love side of things as well. Don't just be thinking we're hating on Thomas Was Alone. There's a love video, 10 things we love. Check out the other content. Hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you very much for watching.